And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Aries. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, one-on-one reads are back up and open. So either message or email me. Link is on main, and we'll set that up, okay? What are we looking at in this round of reads today, Aries? Because again, ever since the reawakening batch of videos, I've considered mixing a lot of things up. So instead of having one-to-ones more towards the end of the month, we are now having them at the beginning, right? I'm trying to stick and, shuffle up the schedule a bit. So one-to-one readings, the style reading I do where we have person A over here, person B over here, and we see what's going on in between. Two caveats to this style of reading. First, I hesitate to call them love readings because they're not always lovely, right? I don't always guarantee that it's going to be rainbows and sunshine. Because the second caveat, it doesn't always have to be about love, right? It just highlights the dynamic that's being held between you and a person. Now, that doesn't always have to be a lover. It could be a friend, family member, coworker, somebody you just met. Just what's the most prevalent relationship happening right now? What's going on between you two, right? So there's a preamble to the read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to purposefully misguide you and mislead you. I have to go through all 12 signs. I don't want to do that for any one of them. Instead, we lay all our cards out on the table, proverbially and otherwise. And good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it. Because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. And with all that being said, let's look at your one-to-one read today, Aries, because I'm really excited for all the signs. It's been a while. Let's look at it. So yeah, for this one-to-one, let's see what the cards say. You're going to be over here. Your person's going to be over here. Show us the cards we need to see, please, for the Aries. Oh, nice. But it didn't have the table, so I can't take. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for the Aries collective. Between them and their person. Almost flipped out there. Now, if I don't catch it, then it hits the table, we see. But it has to do that fully by itself before I can do anything to interfere. The first. Okay. Interesting on your end. Desire for Wands. 3 of Wands. Interesting because... Okay, so let me explain. 4 of Wands, 11, make a wish. This oftentimes, as you can see, depicting the notion of marriage or relationship. Here, wanting a deeper partner bond or connection. Hey, here's what we're aiming for. This is what I want. This is what I feel I'm ready for. Over here, the 3 of Wands with this party, looking forward to that expectation. So we have 2 people, if not very close, and trying to match each other's energies. What's going on here? What are they trying to meet with? Interesting, but we'll get to the in-between because I want to save my judgment until we get to the fronts and backs. So now that we got 2 separate parties established, let's look at the fronts and backs. The backs, what's being left behind or left in the unsaid. Fronts, what's being directly communicated between the 2. Yeah. So show us the cards that we need to see, please. Aries, fronts and backs, and the one-to-one reading. Fronts and backs, 1-to-1 for Aries. That's a break. What the cards we need to see, please? I'll hold this right back. The cards we need to see, please, for Aries in this read today. Between them and their person. Yeah, I had a feeling. Okay, so we're starting to pick at it. 3 of Swords. What's held in the back, heartbreak, sharp pain, and what's being directly communicated. I'm still going to remain optimistic that love is right for me here and now. Okay. On their end, the Sun. and the happiest that could possibly be. And the Nine of Pentacles, the willingness to invest. Well, I'm looking at an Aries who has been shunned by relationships before. This is completely obvious, which is why I was like, hold off. This feels like it's going to come with a caveat, and it did. For what did or did not work out between you and other people, let's say, because this person could also be potentially in that mix, though I don't necessarily see that being the case. Anything could be a possibility. Right now, the experience of everything that went wrong in other relationships, situationships in the past, we're still trying to have an optimistic outlook that no, love is right for me. I just got to keep on remembering that it exists. On their end, they're willing to do the work to see what happiness can mean with you. And that's why, again, they aren't immediately matching energies of one-to-one right now, but they're very close, right? Whoever this person is, they're trying to meet you halfway and say, okay, I see what you want. What does that mean between us? Okay, so now that we have all that on the board, let's look at individual positions. Those cards that we need to see, please, on this read. Individual positions for the read. Okay, good. Because I didn't just want you to want from a distance. This is a lot better. Ace of Wands. Okay, we're fired up. It's not just a concept. It's a reality that we want to work on. Hey, I'm not just saying love could be nice. I'm saying no, I found it within me, and that is why it is right for me. On their end, Seven of Pentacles. Willing to do what it takes. Okay, so underneath it all, King of Wands. Fire is there. We want to do right by what we have to offer, but also what we feel can be given back in return. At least for individual parties, before I move on, Aries, I do want to say that, yeah, you've been hurt. I'm not even going to try to brush that to the side. The fact that we've been trying to hide that behind our back and still offering this nervous, shaky cut forward, it indicates that there's pain there. And you've been trying to work on that. That's nice. But what's different from before is that whereas we kind of had an attitude of, yeah, love exists, but it's just not right for me. Here, we're asking, well, what if it is? And on this person's end, they want to see what that means with you too. How long will we keep that belief going? That's the bigger question. So now that we have two individual parties on the board, one looking at the other, one-to-one, let's look at one-to-one and what's shared down the middle. Show us cards that we can see, please, for Aries and the person on this read. Down the middle, what is shared, and a bridging gap between the two. King of Wands, okay. Regardless of how we feel, in terms of our fears or in terms of what we think we offer or bring to the table, we can give it a shot. We're going to do the best with what we got here. Emperor, the card of Aries. Okay, so both parties looking at you. Them looking at you, you're looking within yourself, Aries. Are we really ready for this? And if so, let's make the choice. Let's leap. Nine of Cups. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because again, we saw very practical methods over here. But now, how do we really feel? It would fulfill me to have you in my life. Both people are saying that. Now, you're coming from a state of slight nervousness, not because you think that they're just set to betray you or hurt you, but rather, hey, here's where I'm coming from. It's not the prettiest place. On their end, they're saying, yes, and. So good. They're willing to work with you. Ace of Wands. Hey, both ready and right for it right now. Ten of Pentacles. Wanting to build something bigger and grandiose together. Let us plant our roots and look forward to what can be made. Underneath it all, Queen of Wands. So we got a king and queen matching in the element of fire. The desire is there between both parties, but even more so, how to embrace it properly and how to maximize the energy that we have and capitalize on it right here, right now. Last, as we move towards resolution, define the major arcana shooting across the table. We'll first look at the sun. Why is this person still trying to communicate that you make them happy and they want you in their life? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Aries in this read. Between them and the person one-to-one. card Sagittarius. I don't know if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, but more so, things come with time. And I think it might surprise you, Aries, the person that you're taking interest in right now, because they're willing to understand their pain, and yours from an empathetic standpoint, but also saying, hey, despite all that, I still find it worthy to have you in my life. What do you feel about this? So, yeah, they're willing to be open to, hey, maybe this could change and go better for us. This is what I believe, and this is where I stand. To the Emperor in between, Four of Pentacles. Okay, holding on. Our decision right here and right now to make the proper investment, and what we see as a good investment, is each other. That's why we still work. In resolution, okay, Three of Swords. We have to focus on the feelings. Makes sense. And Eight of Swords. And I'm getting this more tied back towards you, Aries. Underneath, Nine of Cups. Ooh, oh, that's fun. Okay. In resolution, this mainly ties back to you, Aries, and where we stand with it. Again, remember the metaphor that I had before with the shaky teacup as an offer. We still have a lot of internal heartbreak in the notion of, man, this won't go right between us. Why do I even bother? A lot of self-doubt and a lot of, anxiety, and not the feeling of hopelessness, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, but rather the feeling of powerlessness of, okay, what happens if you don't like my best, right? We're already proposing the worst possible outcome before we even got to anywhere near the best. And this person has seen it within you. Also, this person has been working on themselves, and you might be surprised if you had a more honest conversation with them instead of, happiness and sunshine. If you've been talking to this person for a while, their fears and their anxieties as well. Because it's not always just about us, even though this is the sign reading that we have. But underneath, both parties still trying to give their best, because again, a very good match shows itself. So what we have in your read today, Aries, we're nervous about love. We're also nervous about losing them. On their end, they're willing to say, hey, I see all the problems. I see the things that you notice. You've been honest with me. I see it's not going to be easy, but guess what? I'm still here. I still want to see you. And in between, both parties have an internal commitment to say, okay, it fulfills me to have you in my life, so it's worth me holding on to. Let us make it work, and let us do it right this time. We might actually be good together, but let's just be a little bit more honest with ourselves and with each other. That's all I got in your read today, Aries. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, it'll take a while, but once we can tackle the heartbreaking, we can also experience it when it's unbroken. Just consideration. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.